Great seeing you here again. My name is Luc de Koster, founder of the Koster Academy, and I'm presenting you a new video in our series of the Math Survival Guide. This video is offered to you by the Koster Academy. My name is Luc de Koster, founder of the Koster Academy, and in this video we talk about linear equations, and we are going to see how we can find the equation of a line when we know 2 points of that line. But before we continue, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. So let's have a look at the problem at hand. We have 2 points in the Cartesian plane, and we want to know the equation of a line through those 2 points. We only need 2 points, and those 2 points, when we put them in the different equations, will give us the slope of the line, will give us the y-intercept, and also we will get finally the standard equation in the form of ax plus by is equal to c of the line. When we have 2 points, let's say we have 2 points, x1 y, y1 y, and x2 and y2, and these are sufficient to find that equation like I said before. So first we have to find the slope, and once we have the slope, the next step is to find the y-intercept. And once we have done these 2 elements, we have the equation, the point-slope equation, and we can transform this into the standard equation of a line. When we look at the graph and we find the slope, so this is the x and y plane, we find the 2 points x1, y1, x2, y2, and we can draw a line through those 2 points, and we see the line there, and based on this we can find the slope. And remember, the slope is in fact the rise divided by the run, and we see that the rise is the difference between the y value, so in this case y2 minus y1, and the run is the difference on the horizontal line between the x parameters, the x coordinates, which is equal to x2 minus x1. And we find that m, the slope, is then given by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. When we look at the graph and when we have the elements here, we can find the next element, which is the y-intercept. We already have the slope, so basically we can write the equation y is mx plus k, and the only element that is remaining is the definition or the value of the slope, of the y-intercept k. When we look at this, we can say when we replace x1, y1 in this equation, we can rewrite the equation as y1 is mx1 plus k, y1 is known, m is known, x1 is known, so the only unknown is the y-intercept k, and we can transform the equation into the value, and we will find the value immediately as k is equal y1 minus mx1. So we've just brought everything to the other side, we isolated k, and we find the value, the expression of the y-intercept. When we look at the graph, we see that the y-intercept is at this point, k, and now we have the complete equation. The next thing to do is to control if the equation is correct. We have everything set up with the 2 points. We calculated k using the point x1, y1. Now we can verify if the equation is correct by replacing the parameters y and x, or x and y, by the coordinates of the other points x2, y2. And when we look at the graph again, we have the same graph, and we now have to find out, is this correct? So what we do now is we verify if y2 is equal to m times x2 plus k. Left hand side and right hand side have to be equal because this line goes through both points. It also has to go through x2 and y2. So we replace the different values, we replace x and y by x2 and y, and we see what is happening here. We find the result. The next element that we're going to do is to apply this on an exercise, and we have the x and y frame. We have the different points here, x1 and y1 and x2, y2. The first point has coordinates -3, -1, and the second point has coordinates 5 and 5. Now we can identify the slope. We take the formula like we had before, and we find that the slope is the difference on the y-axis, which is 5 minus -1. And then we have to find the run, which is the difference between the points on the x-axis. So we have 5 minus -3. We find that we have 6 divided by 8. And it's very important to see that we have a positive slope, which is confirmed by the form of the line. We can clearly see that we have a line with a positive slope. 6 divided by 8, we can simplify. We can divide both sides of numerator and denominator by 2. So it's also equal to 3/4. The next thing is to find the equation. We find y is 3/4 x plus k, and we still have to find the y-intercept k. That's the next thing that we're going to do. So we find the y-intercept, and what we do is we start from the initial equation, 3/4 x plus k, and now we replace the values x and y by -3, -1, the first coordinate, and we find that -1, and we find in the equation that -1, left-hand side, is equal to the right-hand side, and the right-hand side is 3/4 times -3 plus k. Following this, we can isolate k. We bring k to the left-hand side, and at the right-hand side we have -1 plus 9/4, and we find this is -4 plus 9 divided by 4. We bring everything to the same denominator, and we find the result is 5/4. Following this, we can say that we have the y-intercept, and we can write the equation y is 3/4 x plus 5/4. The next thing we have to do is to control if our equation is correct, and we have the equation y is 3/4 x plus 5 divided by 4. We will replace x and y by the second coordinate, which gives us 5 is equal to 3/4 times 5 plus 5 divided by 4. So we have to verify if the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. And we see that the right-hand side is basically 15 plus 5 divided by 4. And when we verify this, so we find that the left-hand side, that the value is 5, and the right-hand side we have 5 also, which means that we have proven what we wanted to prove. The next thing is to transform to the standard form. So now we want to rewrite the equation in its standard form. AX plus BY is equal to C. So we have y is 3/4 x plus 5/4. We multiply both sides by 4, and we find 4y is 3x plus 5. We bring 3x to the left-hand side, so we find here that the equation is -3x plus 4y is equal to 5. And that's the end of this video. So we've seen how we can find the point-slope expression of a line going through 2 points. Using those 2 points, I find first the slope, then the y-intercept, and at the end, I can transform the point-slope equation into the standard form or the basic form of a line. That was it for this video. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next videos. Bye bye.